Hey y'all. No, I'm not even gonna go through the whole like disclaimer like, oh my gosh guys, I'm so sorry that it's been a while. Y'all know, y'all seen how long it's been since my last video. Let's just start where we are. Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl TJ, and as you can tell from the title, this is episode 1 of Weekly Wind Down. Weekly Wind Down is a segment that I want to bring here to my platform. Correction, that I am bringing here to my platform, where throughout the week I kind of just chit chat with you guys and discuss like, what I went through in the day, anything I learned. We just come together and wind down. Y'all, for this episode, this first opening video, I'm not gonna hold you. We coming in with a bang, because I am at a place right now in my life where I'm getting much older. I'm in my late 20s. Well, am I in my late 20s? I'm in my late 20s, and I want better for myself. And to like be quite honest, I feel like I'm at the point where I'm tired of my own shit. Like, has anyone ever felt like that, where you kind of look over everything that's going on in your life, and while a lot of things are out of our control and sometimes it is just, it is what it is, some of the things are not just that simple. Some of the things are within your control. Sometimes you have the power and the will to change the outcome and the circumstances that you're in, but due to comfort, due to familiarity, I always struggle to say that word, we kind of just stay stuck in the same loops and patterns. And it's like, I'm getting to the point now where I'm realizing the detrimental effects of that. And I'm just like, if I don't switch up my pattern, and if I don't break out of this hamster wheel, if I don't do something different, I'm gonna look down my life in the next couple of years and not be happy with the woman that I am. Additionally, speaking about that, in reflection and conversation that I've been having with the people in my life, I realize that right now I am not the woman of my dreams right now. I'm very proud of myself. I have done significant work to grow and mature and be where I am right now, and I'm very proud of where I am right now. But I had to be honest with myself, and I'm like, when I think about the woman that I want to be, when I think about the woman that I aspire to be and the woman that I look up to, I don't possess a lot of those qualities and traits. I possess some, but not all. And the only way to make that happen is to do it. So that's where I am right now. I'm at the point in my life now where I'm just like, what we doing? We staying the same, or we switching it up? Because I see what it is when we stay the same. I've experienced what it looks like to play it safe. I've experienced what it looks like to be walking in lack of confidence and insecurity. I've seen what this looks like, and I'm done. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it right now. And I'm very aware, like when I say I'm very aware, I'm not being unrealistic with the goals that I'm setting for myself, and I'm also not beating myself up, because I feel like that's something that I used to do in the past, where I would like kind of reflect and look over my life and kind of look inward and be so upset and ashamed. Like, how could you do this? How could you act like this? Why are you acting like this? Why aren't you making these changes? And rather than beating myself up in that way, I've been kind of checking in, like, what's the root of this? Like, why do you tend to make decisions like this? Why do you do the things that you do? Not trying to do too much, but yeah. And kind of working from there, because it's easy to address the root cause. Correction, it's easy to address the symptom, but just like taking a painkiller, you'll be taking painkillers all your life if you never get to the root of the problem. And I'm not taking no more painkillers. We're getting to the root. We're figuring out what's going on at the visceral level, Ooh, hey y'all, what's up? I'm back, and it's Sunday, and I came to chat. Like, why else would I be here? Hello, we know what I'm here for. Anyways, guys, yeah, what should we talk about? So I guess I can catch you up on my weekend. this weekend has been relatively busy. Well, not that much because I haven't been like busy outside of the house, but I've been home and I was doing some spring cleaning. So yesterday I received my wardrobe from IKEA. Can you guys see it? It's very small, but my room is also very, very small. So like everything that I get has to be small, else it won't fit. So I got a wardrobe yesterday because I just had no space for clothing anymore. Like my closets were full. I have like some storage, like a storage thing here. Those are full. Like I had my clothes in plastic bags because like I had nowhere else to store them. So I was just like, no, this is getting out of hand. I also just didn't like that when I needed stuff, I had to be digging through bags. So we got a new wardrobe, and that somehow like sparked this spring cleaning. Like I started just going through stuff. I started cleaning and I just got rid of so much stuff. Not only clothes, but like so much stuff. Just threw it in the trash. Like, gotta go. Get out with the old, in with the new. And I'm really happy that I did that. I feel like, one, my room feels so much lighter. Like I told you guys before, I have a very small room. So like, you have, like, if you have too many things, even if it's organized, even if it's neatly packed, it still just looks like a lot because the space is small. And I didn't like that. Like, when I come into my room, I want it to feel light and free, and I just want to come in and relax. Anyway, today what I'm going to talk about is letting go. And then kind of like partnered with that is being okay with letting people see you fall. So I'm trying to see how I want to sequence this because they both are, like, I've learned the lesson together. It's kind of like anatomy and physiology, like they're kind of just hand in hand. That's how I learned the lesson. So let's talk about letting go first and kind of trickle into the other thing that I want to talk about. So recently I had to let go of something, a relationship. I'm going to be transparent because I feel like, girl, y'all would have figured that out anyway. When people get online, get to talking about, I had to let go of something, I immediately start thinking, a man, you had to let that man go, didn't you? Like, so I'm not even gonna get on here and try to be extremely vague because we all know. I mean, I know sometimes it could be friendship, but baby, I know it was a man. So, yeah, recently I had to let go of a relationship, and I realized now that I have kind of like taken a step back how hard letting go has been for me, not only in this situation, but in many other situations, right? And for many reasons, I feel like letting go of things kind of brings up a lot of emotions. It could feel like you're losing. It could feel like you're giving up. It could feel like stepping into the unknown, right? Like, okay, if I let go of this thing, then what? Staying put for some people, and for myself at the time, because I feel like, yeah, staying put at the time felt safer or more worth it than letting go. And now that I'm in the place that I am in now, I'm just like, you know, letting go ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? It's not that bad. And another thing that I kind of wanted to express on this topic is letting go, not only for you, but for the other person. I find that a lot of times when you get online and you hear people speak about letting go of relationships, it's always like, you know, yeah, because they can't go into your new season. You gotta let go because you're about to elevate. You're about to be on top. You're about to leave them behind. Like, you're going to be high and they're going to be so low. And I feel like that is like such a toxic way to view things, because like, what if you guys break up and they start doing better than you? Then what? Then you start internalizing that you're a bad person? Then what? Like, so like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like letting go is for both parties. And for me, I've learned that letting go is simply just getting rid of the old and coming in with the new. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, where Jesus Christ says, you can't pour old wine into new wineskins because the wineskins would burst, right? Because of the new wine. And in that same way, like, you can't, I'm gonna even bring it back to the wardrobe situation. You can't buy new clothes and fit it in your closet if your closet is filled with all this old clothes. Like, where is it gonna go? It's gonna be busting out the seams. You can't close your closet door because you know, you have so much stuff. In order for you to make room for what is new and what is fresh, and also to give you the palate for it, right? You can't drink orange juice if you just brushed your teeth, right? You can't enjoy something if you have the remnants or the taste of the old still lingering in your mouth, or like, you know, on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to make space for this new thing to, one, come in, but also come in and be experienced in its fullness. If you're still holding on to what's old and what you used to do and what you know, what was that in the past, you're not giving space to the new thing, and you're also not giving space to experience the new thing in its wholeness. In conjunction with that, another lesson I had learned was like, it's okay to fall in front of people. It's okay if somebody maybe sees you in an unfavorable way, right? It's okay to make a mistake in front of people. And I feel like now, especially in this time period where like everyone is seemingly, right, because of social media, we didn't have this in the past, or the past generations didn't have this. So I feel like they didn't have the pressure of seeing if other people were kind of elevating or making mistakes or whatever. Like, but in this era of social media and everyone kind of sharing, whether it be for content or just for social purposes, all of the things that they're doing, sometimes you may feel embarrassed to make a mistake. Also, with all of the discourse on social media, that's what I want to talk about. With all of the discourse on social media about how people are expecting you to show up, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing, but it can often leave people feeling like they're being tested, because we hear on the internet like, oh, as soon as you make one mistake, you gotta go, right? You gotta go. And I actually had a conversation about this with my best friend, where I was just like, I feel like that doesn't give us room to learn how to actually, one, cultivate relationships, but also like learn how to navigate that space. Like, what does it mean to truly have a friend, a partner, a family member where we're in a relationship and we're choosing to be in the space together, and we're understanding that we are two different people and beings, and we're trying to kind of like walk with each other. And I might like step over on your side and get you tight, and you might have to be like, girl, don't do that again. And you be like, okay, I'm sorry. And you keep moving. But if everyone feels as if they're being tested, and if everyone feels like, oh my gosh, I can't make this mistake, I can't make them see me do this, I can't do this because I'm gonna get cut off and they're gonna make a TikTok story about me, you know, you feel this anxiety that I feel like you don't need to feel. So I also had to learn in letting go of this relationship, because I did feel like feelings of shame, feelings of embarrassment, and other things like that. I had to tell myself, like, it's okay for somebody to see you in that way. Like, it's okay for people to see you fall, right? And that doesn't mean you show up to spaces and you act a fool, right? Like, you still need to be integral and intentional when you show up to these spaces. But at the end of the day, you only have a certain amount of wisdom. We all only have a finite amount of wisdom, right? We can gain more wisdom as time goes on, but right now in this present moment, you only have a certain amount of wisdom, and you're operating out of that. And for me especially, like, this was the first time I experienced a relationship like this. So I was operating on the little bit of wisdom that I had on relationships. So of course I'm gonna make mistakes. Of course I'm gonna do things. Of course I'm gonna do something where somebody who might have a lot more experience, or even if it's not experience, but insight, because they were able to see from the outside looking in how other, you know, people manage relationships, they might be like, oh, I wouldn't have done that, or I would have done this, right? I didn't have that. I was working on what I had. And at the end of the day, yes, I fell. Yes, I made mistakes. Yes, I may have done things that were not great, but I'm human. And I fell, but I pick myself up and I dust myself off. And then I take that little nugget of wisdom that I got from that relationship, those little nuggets of things that I've learned, right? The insight that I have now gained, I pick it up and I walk with it. I'm like, okay, Tasia, this is what we gotta do. This is what we don't do. This is how you do show up. This is how you don't show up. This is how you do treat somebody. This is how you don't treat somebody, like, you know? So yeah, like that, for me, that was really important, especially coming from the household that I do come from, where I feel like perfectionism is promoted. And I know a lot of Caribbean and African, especially if you come from like first generation, second generation, if you grew up with those type of parents, it can feel like you're always being tested, because you always need to make the right decision. You always need to be doing the right thing. You always, where, and then you come you know, you grow up or you live feeling like you always have to make the right decision, when it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to be like, oh, I'm gonna try this, and even if it doesn't work out, you just know, okay, like, you know, I messed up. So yeah, that is all I had to say for today's weekly wind down. Not weekly wind down, my daily wind down. Y'all learn to let go, and it's not gonna be easy. I wish I could be like those people who could just, like, you know, they just detach from things relatively quickly. I admire them. However, like, learn to let go. It's okay to let go. You're not losing, and you're not losing. The other person isn't losing. Sometimes they may be losing, but I'm saying, like, you're not losing by letting go of it. If something has expired, let it go. I remember I was watching this video. I think I'm gonna close up here because the clip is getting long. I was watching this video on TikTok, of course, and this woman was pretty much explaining that when you hold on to something past its expiration date, it's kind of like eating moldy bread, right? So you have this loaf of bread, and when you first got it, it was great, right? You loved it. It was crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside, warm, buttery, all of the things. You loved it, and it served you for the time being, right? It nourished you. However, as time went on, the bread got expired, so you probably saw one spore on the bread, and you were just like, I'm gonna pluck that off and dash that to the side, and we'll continue nourishing ourselves with this loaf of bread. And before you realize it, it is now like 90% spores, 10% actual bread. And you're picking around this bread when you can literally just get rid of this bread and get you a fresh loaf. And yes, that might have been the best bread you've tasted. That might have been the last kind of that bread, right? And you really like that bread, and it was the first time you had bread that good. But I'm telling you that there's other loaves of bread out there. There's other forms of nourishment. Even if you let go of the bread and there's no other bread, guess what? There's bagels, there's croissants, there's danishes. So many other sources of carbs out there, babes. There's pasta and lobster. That's what the girl said. There's always gonna be another option. It may not be the same thing. You may not ever get the same experience again. Typically you won't, because everyone's one of a kind, right? Unless they're pretending to be someone else. You may not ever get that same experience again, but that's okay. At least you got to experience it, and you move on, right? And you nourish yourself with something else. So yeah, that was that for tonight. I'm getting ready for bed. I've had a long weekend, 2 days of deep cleaning, so I'm ready to go to my bed. So yeah, you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.